Have you ever just looked at your savings, your investments, all that stuff and felt kind of overwhelmed? If you have, you are definitely not alone. I mean, trying to manage your money today can feel like a full-time job you never even signed up for. It's a super common feeling. But why is it so tough? And more importantly, what can we actually do about it? Let's dive in. Okay, so let's just ask the question head on. Why is this stuff so hard? On the surface, it seems pretty simple, right? You earn some money, you save some, you invest some. But we all know the reality is a whole lot more complicated than that. And here's the real answer. It's because your financial life isn't just a number sitting in a bank account. It's all tangled up with everything else, your job, your family, your future, and this global economy that's constantly shifting under our feet. Honestly, it's not a math problem. It's a life problem. So first, let's talk about the world outside our own heads for a minute. The financial landscape itself. It can feel like this huge, complicated maze. And trying to find your way through it all on your own, well, that is a massive challenge. I mean, just stop and think about it for a second. There are literally thousands of different investment options out there. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs. The list just goes on and on. How are you, as one person, supposed to sift through all of that to figure out what's right for you? For most of us, the sheer volume of choices is just paralyzing. And it's not just about the number of choices. A lot of these financial products are, let's be real, incredibly complex. They've got different risks, different costs, and a whole lot of fine print. Throw in an economy that changes on a dime, and trying to figure out if a certain product is even a good fit for you can feel like trying to solve a puzzle in the dark. This chart, man, it really breaks down the difference. When we're on our own, we often end up just going with our gut, right? Maybe a hot tip from a buddy. That's intuitive guessing. A planner just gets rid of all that guesswork. They bring in a scientific structured process that's built on years of professional expertise, and that simple switch dramatically lowers the risk of you making a really costly mistake. But you know, that external financial maze isn't the only challenge we're up against. Sometimes the biggest obstacle is, well, us. It's our own psychology. Our emotions can be our absolute worst enemy when it comes to money. We've all felt this, haven't we? The market takes a nosedive, and your first instinct is to panic and sell everything. Or the market's soaring, and suddenly you feel invincible, like you can't lose. You start taking on way too much risk. Or maybe you see everyone else jumping on some new hot stock, and you get that fear of missing out. These are classic emotional traps that can trip up even the smartest people. So how in the world do you fight these totally natural impulses? This is where a planner becomes way more than just a numbers person. They become your behavioral coach. They help you turn those big, vague dreams like retire comfortably into actual concrete targets. They're that objective third party who can talk you off the ledge when you're about to make an emotional decision. And maybe most importantly, they help you keep your eyes on the long-term prize, ignoring all that short-term market noise. And let's just be honest with ourselves. Even if you had all the expert knowledge and the emotional discipline of a Zen master, on top of your career, your family, your life, who actually has the time to do all this? It's a huge commitment. Okay, so we've got a complex market on one side and our own tricky human brains on the other. This is where a planner rolls up their sleeves and comes in with a professional toolkit, one designed specifically to build and protect your wealth. Now, the cornerstone of this whole thing is something called asset allocation. It's really just a smart way of saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. A planner helps you create this balanced mix of different assets, like stocks for growth, bonds for stability, to build a portfolio that can handle different economic conditions. And it's all tailored specifically to you, your goals, and your comfort level with risk. All right, here's a big one that a lot of people just completely overlook: tax optimization. Now, this isn't about some shady tax avoidance. It's about being smart so you're not paying a penny more in taxes than you legally have to. Because think about it. Every single dollar you save in taxes is another dollar that's working for you, growing and compounding over time. So how do they do it? Well, they'll guide you toward investments that are more tax-friendly. They'll help you plan the smartest way to take money out when you're in retirement to minimize the tax hit. And they just help you stay on the right side of all the complex regulations. Over your entire lifetime, this kind of tax strategy alone can add a huge amount of value to your nest egg. See, growing your wealth is really only half the battle. You've also got to protect it. A planner looks at your whole life to make sure you're covered, that you've got the right insurance, a solid emergency fund for when life throws you a curveball, and strategies in place to handle risks before they turn into disasters. Your life isn't static, right? It's always changing. So your financial plan can't be static either. Whether you're getting married and merging finances, making a big career change, or getting ready to retire, every one of these life events requires a shift in strategy. A planner makes sure your financial plan evolves right alongside you. And that's really the key thing here. This isn't a one and done kind of deal. It's an ongoing partnership. A good planner is constantly keeping an eye on how things are going, meeting with you for periodic reviews, and honestly, acting as your accountability partner to make sure you're actually staying on track to hit your goals. So, we've talked about all the technical stuff, right? Asset allocation, tax strategies, risk management, but what is all of this really for? The true goal? Well, it goes so much deeper than just the numbers on a page. This is so important. The real objective isn't just to hit some magic number in your bank account. It's about what that money allows you to do, how it allows you to feel. It's about using your money as a tool to build a life that you truly value. And this is the real payoff. This is the ultimate return on investment. It's the clarity you get from knowing you have a plan and you know where you're going. It's the massive relief that comes from finally reducing that constant nagging financial anxiety. And it's the confidence you feel when you know your decisions are part of a smart, coordinated strategy. Ultimately, it all comes down to this idea. A planner helps transform all those scattered pieces, your 401k here, your savings there, into one single coordinated strategy. A strategy that's built for one purpose, to give you long-term security, independence, and most of all, peace of mind. So the real question isn't just how you'll manage your money, it's what kind of future are you building for yourself?